Angela here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and finally welcome back to another Sunday chat. It's been a month of Sundays. Literally, it's been a month of Sundays since I posted a Sunday chat, but I did warn y'all that the month of July I would be booked and busy. From the last couple days of June until this weekend, I have literally been booked and busy. I have been out of town or had a full weekend of things to do. I've only been in town once this month for the weekend, and I had like boat stuff and like people in town, and we were doing stuff all weekend. And then this is my first weekend, and it's the last weekend of the month, being in Chicago with absolutely nothing to do. And this video is going to be a life update because it's a lot of stuff going on. Things are changing. There is a lot of stuff going on, and I just sort of want to update y'all on some changes, and you know, things might start looking different and like all that type of stuff. So I just want to like give you a precursor of all the things I have coming up, but just sort of a quick wrap on where I've been. At the end of June, beginning of July, I took a 10-day vacation from work. So I think I went on vacation on like the 27th of June through the 7th. I think I came back on the 7th. Anyway, I left here. I went to St. Louis for a weekend, hung out with my family, met my nephew. My niece had my great nephew about 3 months ago now. And so that was my first time meeting him in person. So I went and spent family time. And then I flew from St. Louis to New York, and I spent a few days in New York. I met up with some of my content creator, and then like I met up with Tanika B. She's my college mate. We went to college together, so we also had lunch. I met up with Piper. I don't know if y'all follow Piper on TikTok. Bye girls, get in here. So I met Piper for the first time. I met Rana for the first time, which is somebody else and Brandy, which are two other people that I follow and like, you know, communicate with pretty much on a daily basis on TikTok. So I met up with a bunch of people, got a lot of culture in. I went to the Guggenheim. I went to the, I did not make it to the Met. I was finna lie. I didn't make it to the Met. So I still haven't seen the Superfine Dandy exhibit at the Met, but I will be, or Superfine Tailoring, not Superfine Dandy, but I will be trying to get back to New York before it's done in October to see that, because I screwed up my schedule. I went to the Whitney. I like bought some sneakers. Like I did the New York thing, and then I flew from New York to Mexico City, and I spent 5 days 4 nights in Mexico City. Me and my best friend bumping around, had a great time. Ended up getting food poisoning. Yeah, I came back with food poisoning, so I was down for like a week after that. And then that weekend was like black boat scene, so like my friend had friends in town, so we were like out every night kicking it. Then we got on a boat, and then that next weekend I had to go to Nashville for a baby shower, which was last weekend. And so this weekend, which is the last weekend in the month, I finally have a free weekend. I'm not doing anything. I actually was supposed to like go somewhere today, but I don't even feel like dealing with that riffraff. That's why I got some curls. I got a little bit of curl in my hair because I was supposed to, I don't know if I feel like doing that. So that's where I've been. That's what I've been doing. And I'm so glad that I had a vacation, because there's a lot happening starting actually now. So where do I begin? Let's begin with this new weight loss journey that I am about to go on. I was gonna say lifestyle, but I mean, wellness is like, it's been a part of my lifestyle for the last 15 years. I've had a wellness like workout, you know, I eat pretty good routine for the last, like before I moved to Nashville, moved from Nashville to Chicago. So for like the last 15 years or so, I've had like a consistent routine. And for the most part, I've been able to maintain it, but that's because I've always been in like a maintenance, right? There was one other time within the last 15 years where my weight kind of got away from me. And it was when I was going through, trying to get my lupus diagnosis. And, you know, I was getting all of these other diagnoses that weren't the right diagnosis. So I was taking steroid pills. I was doing topical steroids, and so my weight had got away from me a little bit, and I ended up doing a program with one of my college mates who is a trainer, and she does like nutrition and all of that stuff too. And I'll insert a picture. Like my body was so T. So I don't have like a before picture, but my body was so fucking T. And I only did 4 weeks with her, and it really like reset my body. And I've been able to pretty much maintain that, right, for the last, I think that was in maybe like 2017, 2018. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember exactly. But I was able to maintain that up until last year. I would say this year it's where it's really gotten out of my control. I wouldn't say out of control, because you'll look at me and be like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you. But like me knowing me and how I prefer to be and how I usually am, it's out of my control, not out of control. I got injured preparing for that half marathon last year, like in the summertime. This time last year I got injured, and so I was in, you know, physical therapy for like 8 weeks. So I stopped being as active as I was, and not being as active as I am, and not having as much activity as I typically have, because I would walk back and forth to work, or when I lived, you know, further away from my job, I would hop on the train and still have, you know, a good walk to and from the train station from the office. So I had a lot of activity in addition to my workout, right? So, you know, like your workout routine, your fitness is different than your activity. Activity would be things like moving your body, walking, stuff like that. So I had a great deal of both of those things. And so I had already stopped doing as much activity, walking and things like that. And so now I have no activity and I'm not working out, right? And so by the end of last year, I was 175. I got on the scale the other day because I went to the doctor, and I am currently 186.2. 186.2. And a part of that is because I also got on birth control earlier this year, so my body is trying to readjust to like the hormones and things like that. Like I have been doing all the things that I know to do to like clean up my diet, be more active, get more activity. I've been attempting to do that on my own for like the last, even with my travels over the last 3 weeks or so, I've been pretty consistent with trying to maintain it on my own, and it isn't. And so I say all of that to say that I finally went ahead and hooked up with my girl, and we're gonna work out a new routine for me, maybe like a 4 to 6 week routine with some nutrition. I'm going to be following it pretty strictly, and you know, we'll see where we are in 4 to 6 weeks. I think I am going to document it in like a separate video series on here. So stay tuned for that. Let me know if that's something that y'all are interested in, from like day one when the plan is complete and I start to like the end of it. I'll do maybe like a weekly upload of, you know, a vlog style video of like where I am on the journey. So I'm thinking about doing that. So that's one thing that is happening. 2, we're moving. We as in me, I'm moving. Not to DC, right? Not to DC. I think we've had that conversation before. I just, you know, the job market wasn't in my favor. I didn't find anything. That was kind of always the contingency. Like, I'm moving unless I don't find a job, because I have a job. Like, I'm ready to jump out the window, but I ain't no damn fool. So I'm not going nowhere without no job. It's just, it's not happening, right? Ain't enough of y'all watching these videos. ain't enough TikTok algorithming for me to quit my job just to move to DC. Especially when I love the city. Like, I love Chicago. Like, I don't have an issue with it. I'm not running from anything. I just kind of wanted a change, right? To see what else is out there, like to stretch myself. But I saw a video the other day, and I'll try to insert it in here.
I have a PSA. You have to go to the city that wants you. Nobody want to talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it. You have to go to the city that wants you. Not the city you thought you needed to be in to do the thing you thought you wanted to do. You have to go to the city that wants you. The city that wants you is going to tell you that it wants you. Just like a partner. You can tell when a partner wants you, when a partner loves you, how you feel when a person really, really loves you. With a city, it's the same thing. And the city that wants you, you can tell that it wants you because you feel good, because you feel empowered, because you look good, because you smell good. The city that wants you is going to show you and tell you that it wants you every single day of the week. You don't have to stress because she wants you there. That's where you need to be.
And she's the girl that played in Harlem. I don't know her name, but she played in Harlem. And I think it's Harlem. That's the only way Megan Good, right? But she was talking about cities. And she was like, go to the city that wants you there, that wants to receive you. And you'll know that the city is for you because it'll receive you with open arms, right? And so for me, I tell y'all all the time that God always meets me where I am with messages that I need to hear. Because I wasn't necessarily bummed about not going to DC. I always knew that there was a possibility that wouldn't happen. It just depended on if I could find a job that I actually wanted to work, that was, you know, that met all of my standards. But it just sort of solidified in me that maybe what Chicago has for me is still like, I'm not finished with the city, which is what I was saying. Like, I haven't laid down any roots. Maybe I'm just like finished with the city. Like, I could leave and like come back. But before I saw that video, I had gotten my lease renewal, and I had always said if my rent went up over $2,000 for this studio, which is a studio that's on the smaller side, it's like barely 400 square feet, that I would not re-sign my lease here, because if I'm going to pay $2,000 plus, right, base rent before we even talk about utility packages and anything like that, then I need a bigger space. Now, will it still be a studio? Yes, it'll be like a convertible or like a junior 1-bedroom, because y'all know I like small spaces, but it's gonna be at least close to 600 square feet, right? If I'm going to be, I need at least a couple hundred more square feet if I'm going to be paying that much. And so my lease renewal came in at $2,075 before like the utilities package or whatever, and I just was like, actually I'm not doing that. So I put in my 60-day notice, and I immediately started setting up apartments. So I looked at an apartment yesterday. You'll see that in Wednesday's vlog. I have a apartment showing on tomorrow, and then I have a third one on Monday. And then after that one, I'm going to make a decision, apply, lock it in, and you know, don't have to worry about that until it's time to move in October. But I'm saying all that to say, as soon as I got that rent renewal form and I was like, okay, so I'm moving, I saw that TikTok video and I was like, you know what, like that is like, it's like, I'm telling you, God will download in me what I need to hear at the time that I need to hear it. Like, he never fails me, like ever fails me. So anyway, I said all that to say I will be moving. My lease is up here in October 10th, but I put in my 60-day notice that I'll leave by October 1st. And so the apartment I saw yesterday, I love so much, but I don't want to be like hasty. I want to see at least 3-4 different apartment buildings. It's in a different neighborhood, so I would be leaving the neighborhood that I'm in that I really love, but I love the other neighborhood a little bit more, I'm not gonna lie. It'll push me further away from my friends, but you know, that's okay. It'll just make me have to make more of an effort to see and to hang and to be with my community. The apartment that I'm looking at tomorrow is in the same neighborhood. It's literally like 3 blocks up the road, so you know, there's a possibility that I'm still in the same neighborhood. And then the third building is in the same neighborhood as the first place, right? Which is, I would love to live in that neighborhood. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, like I'm hoping one of those two works out for me. Like, I'm hoping I don't go to this one tomorrow and be like, fuck, this is the best option, right? But if it is, then we're going to go with it. I will say the one that I looked at yesterday is the most expensive. The one that I'm looking at tomorrow and the one that I'm looking at Monday is about $100 less, so it ain't that much more expensive. So if I decided to go with it, like, it's not, I'm saving $100. You know, I eat $100 in a day, right? So I'm really excited about that. I'm not really excited about having to pay movers and stuff like that again, because moving is so expensive, but it is what it is. With that, I do plan on signing an extended lease. Like the apartment that I looked at yesterday, I could do a 15-month lease, which is exactly what I'm looking at. I can lock that rate in for 15 months. But I'm giving myself 15 months to change my life, like, you know what I'm saying, to really just dive into the things that I want to do. And in 15 months, all roads lead to New York. I have to live in New York at least once in my life, even if it's just for a year, a couple years. Like, I want to use the next 15 months to put myself in a position where I can just get up and go and come back, right? Finding a job be damned. And so I'm really finna start going hard in the paint. Like, I just am saying all of that to say I'm really about to turn it up, because in January of 2027, I'm putting all my shit in storage. Well, maybe not all my shit, right? But I am packing up minimal shit and I'm going to New York. Like, that's what's happening. So that's what's happening on the moving front. So we have that. We're moving now. As it relates to my drinkware brand, I don't know if I have even talked about that on here, but on a Sunday chat, but I have started a drinkware brand. I'm using brand loosely because I don't have any product, I don't have a logo, I don't have any of those things. I am just still working on the DNA of the brand. But what I have started doing is I locked down the name. The name of it is Linger Atelier, and I added the atelier to linger, right? Linger just meaning like taking your time. Like, for me, y'all know I like a drink. Y'all know I like a good beverage. It doesn't even have to be alcohol. I like a good beverage, right? And I usually am having drinks, right, when I am just like chilling out in my house, or, you know, in community with my friends, or, you know, morning coffee really early, right? And so that's the idea of like linger, right? It's like a moment to savor with like a nice cocktail, or a nice fruity drink, or something hydrating, or, you know, a nice cup of coffee, or a matcha for you matcha girls, right? And then atelier is just like, you know, studios, right? I could end up doing more than drinkware. I could decide I wanted to do silverware, or plates, or candles, or whatever the case may be, and all of that will fall under the atelier, right? So it's called Linger Atelier. I made a Pinterest, I made a TikTok, I made a YouTube, I made a Instagram, and I've started posting on Instagram, I've started posting on Pinterest. And so my goal until at least after this move, I can't do nothing until after this move. Like, now my mind is like focused on getting settled, but I am going to spend time like building a brand, building followers, you know, building a brand identity, getting people familiar with it, trying to gain traction on social media, right? So that when I do start like trying to work on product and stuff like that, people will be familiar with Linger Atelier and sort of the DNA behind my taste and my style as it relates to drinkware, drinks, and things like that. I also decided that I am going to keep it as like a micro brand, right? So really small collections of things. And I'm also, excuse me, fuck, that hurt. I'm also going to start off with a small like retail like option. My ultimate goal is to design my own drinkware and have that available for purchase, but I thought that takes a lot of time, that takes a lot of money, and I need to go hard in the paint to make some money that I can funnel into that, right? So what I'm going to do is do some wholesale buying, go to some different like antique places and stuff like that, and just source glassware, drinkware that I love, and offer it at like in a retail space for people to buy. And it's really just a way for me to see if people like my style, right? Because typically the stuff that the stuff that I'm going to be choosing to sell from wholesale places, or I'm choosing at like vintage like stores and things like that, will be stuff that would likely be in the same vein of stuff that I will be designing, right? And so I really do want to see if people even like my style enough to want to buy originals from me, right? So if they like the style of things that I choose for my little store, then they'll likely like the style of things that I design. So I think I'm going to go in that vein as well. I've started putting out some fillers for like some samples of things that I like from some different places that I saw. So I'm gonna go in and probably order that stuff sometime next week. but I'm not going to be doing too much. I'm really just going to be focusing on the socials and trying to grow those until I get into my new appointment, girl. And then we can go hard in the paint. I do also want to get with a, what do you call them? Graphic designer, and get a logo and all of that stuff going here soon as well. So that's what's going on with the glassware brands. Okay, so we're about to start a new fitness journey. We are about to move into a new apartment. That's the details of the update on Linktree Atelier. What else? I think that's it. Shit, that's enough. That's enough to me. That's a whole lot to me. That is a lot to me, right? Those are 3 big things, like, at one time. That's a lot of stuff to me. So that's kind of an update. That's what's going on with me. I do want to start posting more on YouTube, right? I have more series, right? So at least a few times a week. As I mentioned, I'm going to be documenting my like workouts, but I want to add a 3rd video a week. I told you I'm trying to go hard in the paint. But also I love YouTube, and this is probably my favorite platform, and so I want to do more. Oh, my head is just so bad. I want to do more on the platform, so I just don't know what else to do, right? And don't say fashion, y'all. I don't put on enough clothes to make consistent fashion videos. Look, I don't get dressed enough to do consistent fashion videos. I don't shop enough anymore to make consistent fashion videos. Maybe here and there I can, but like it needs to be something that I can do consistently on a weekly basis, right? And it doesn't have to be the same type of video every week. Like I said, I'll be doing workout updates, but I'm looking for some other stuff that y'all may be interested in. Long form videos from me on. There's long form videos from me on, right? Now keep in mind that Sunday Chat is already sort of like a social commentary, pop culture commentary. We talk about, you know, what's going on, or just, you know, things that are on my mind. So this is the video series for that, right? So if you want to talk about anything pop culture related that I'm interested in, because y'all get to ask me to talk about goddamn Love Island or some shit like that, I can't help you. I don't watch that type of stuff, right? But I'm looking for other things that you may be interested in, that I can film long form content around. So I don't know, let me know, guys. Let me know. I do plan on taking swimming lessons, but I don't think I can record myself in swimming lessons, so I don't know about that. But anyway, that's what's going on with me. Welcome back to Sunday Chat. We are back like chiropractic. We are back in this thing. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be on routine. And I will talk to y'all next Sunday. I'm trying to decide if I'm finna go outside. Probably not. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Happy to be back. I will talk to y'all in the next video. Oh, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. The link to Linktree Atelier on Instagram for you to follow is there, as well as Pinterest. So make sure you go follow both for that account. And I will talk to y'all in next week's video. Bye.